Today is all about answering a question regarding ragey clients. So, the question is do you have a good metaphor or story to cast doubt on a client's interpretations so that they're not quick to escalate rage if they're disagreeing with someone like their partner? So this is a very, very good question. And the brief answer to that is no, I do not have a particular metaphor or story for any XYZ symptom, because what that does is that I will be guessing as to what a client will need at that moment in time before the time in front of the client actually happens, which really is an ineffective way to deliver sessions. Have you ever had a conversation in your mind and you've rehearsed it in your mind, and you're like, I'm going to say this, and this person's going to say this, and then I'm going to say this afterwards? When does that ever 100% come into fruition? Never, right? That never happens. So preparing a story, preparing a metaphor for someone with rage is not going to be the most effective way to help them. And this is what I would do to help them instead. So one of the things that you could do is, inside the bulletproof nervous system, we talk about learning how to, in the moment, really help recognize what is behind that rage. And so, if you're in coming into the session, going into your session and thinking, okay, I am going to use a metaphor, I'm going to relax the client, I'm going to use the script. If that person were to go in real life, in their real life, in the actual situation, the actual circumstances that make them angry, your metaphor or story are not going to help them learn the tools that they need in order for them to shift at that present moment in time. They may help decrease the stress levels that they're feeling with regards to the rage, your session. But again, I'm all about leveling up client skills, and I would rather have a client to learn exactly what is happening to them internally as they're interacting with, say, their partner who they go into rage with, rather than just telling them or giving them a temporary tool that cannot be applied when it happens in the moment. And so, how I would help the client is really dependent on what they come to me with, if they are actually paying for the result or if they just want tips and tricks, right? So, one thing that I can do is help them have a somatic practice to help them move through the rage. I can do that, or if they are coming to me with, they want a result, they come into me really wanting to deal with this rage for good, then instead of looking for a metaphor, I would just ask clients questions about their experience of rage. And so, at the very basic level, just asking them questions about what happens when they interact with a person, what makes them actually go into rage, why, and being curious as to this person in front of me, how did they default into going into rage when they disagree with people, right? I can go into a big rabbit hole of the nervous system states that they're in and the default pattern and the window of tolerance. That is for the bulletproof nervous system, but really there is a reason why a client is defaulting into rage. It is your role to help your client see that. So instead of applying a metaphor, change your perspective around if you want to really help your clients get to the next level faster and be known as the expert. You want to help them explore as to the internal situations and happenings in their bodies and the thoughts that are happening that actually have led them to do that. And a simple principle is attention, right? This is basic this is basic mindfulness principles. Get their attention focused on the things that are happening. So if maybe your client is misinterpreting things that their partner is saying, ask them what happens when they hear that misinterpretation, when something unexpected happens, and their reaction or response to that. Just ask them and challenge them about it by asking them questions. So what made you angry about what your partner said? How did it feel when your partner said this and you expected that? How did it feel in your body when this happened? exploring that, because as you explore that, you're taking shit out of their backpack. They can see the situation for exactly what it is, and then that is going to be more helpful in changing their patterns. If we go into the our sessions continuously just wanting to fix it for our clients, right? Wanting to give them the best metaphor, give them the best stories, tell them the greatest suggestions, we are undermining the power of and the ability of their unconscious mind to make changes. It is not up to us. There is nothing that we can consciously do or say to a client that can be more powerful than their own insight, than their own interpretations, than them seeing what was unconscious being conscious, right? That is the goal of our therapeutic interactions with them anyway, right? And so if we just go into our sessions like this, what metaphor can I ask? What stories can I tell my client? What language pattern do I use? All of that bullshit, that leads to longer sessions, more frustrations, and more stress on us because we are putting pressure on ourselves to fix the problem, which is not our job, right? Our job is to decrease all of the expectations, the assumptions, and just allow our clients to heal. This is exactly what we teach in detail inside the hypnotic questioning trainings and program, because it is such an easier way to work with people, allowing them to just find their own answers. You can literally see their unconscious mind fixing the problem for them if you know how to ask questions, what type of question to ask, what type of information to draw their attention in, and how to ensure that their problem no longer exists. The very, very, very powerful skill to have. So in summary, how to be best create the most effective transformations for your clients with rage is just to really focus your attention on the client in front of you, the most important person. Be curious, ask them questions about their internal experience, and have them journey inwardly. And you can do this by asking them questions and becoming very, very efficient at knowing what to ask. So that is how I would deal with clients who are ragey.